Hello everyone. Welcome to the series Learn Python with me for freelancing. So, let me tell you brief about this series. Actually, guys, I just completed my first year and I am planning to do something like I want to improve my communication skills as well as coding skills. So, which is why I started this series and I will daily upload my learnings and very I am very sorry in advance if I made any kind of mistakes. And also this series is not for beginners who are doing coding first time. I will don't recommend for them. Okay, so let's start. What is programming? Like we communicate with each other in many languages. So to communicate with the computers, we need language like Python, Java, C. And in the first year, you guys are aware the C language. So, but Python is easiest language among all the languages. Okay, so why it is easy? Because it is easy to learn, and the English like syntax, and it is widely used in AI because I am from AIML and works on Windows, Linux, Mac. Okay, you can download it. You can watch so many tutorials on the YouTube is present. Okay, guys. So first, our first code is how to print functions. How to print in Python. So this is by this way we can print. The P is very small p, then bracket, then double quotes. Under this we will write whatever we want to print. Anything which is written under double quotes is considered as a string. Okay, so move to the next. This is something which by which you can use Python directly from the terminal, but I'm using by VS Code, so I don't think this is necessary. Okay, what is comments? Comments are the line of codes which are not visible. I mean, not visible, which are not considered as a as code. Like when you run a program and by this by this symbol, if you put this symbol in any line, so the compiler, the interpreter will not read that line. For single line comments, you can use this hash symbol, and for the multi-line comments, you can use these three double quotes and by this way. Okay, now practice it the same way. You can write the print program for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Python and table of five. These are not so difficult, so you can. I am expecting you to print. I think print is very easy. I don't need to tell you more about this. So I want to focus on important things. Okay, variables and the data types. What is a variable? Variable is a container which is used to store a value. A value, that value of any kind of data like integer, string, float, like 30 is integer and this is a string, this is a float. So this is a data type, the type of data we are storing in variable. Okay, and so these are the data types: integer, float, string, boolean, name. Okay, you know, guys, this is float, this is string, this is integer. And rules for choosing an identifier: how to choose, how to put name of a variable, like why I'm writing a here, why b, and why name. So there are so many rules. Like you can't write a numerical digit, like I write if I write 1 NAME, so it is not considered as a identifier. And also the expressions like semicolon and exclamation marks, there's so many expressions which are not considered except underscore. You can use underscore in identifiers. These are the examples. This will be considered as identifier. This. Yes, 8 is accepted here but not in the front. Okay, and Sorry. Operators. Arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide. Assignment operators is equals to, plus is equals to, minus is equals to, okay, equal to, and greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to. These are the comparison operators. Logical operators. If you are aware with C language, so we have studied the symbol like ampersand, and for the or we used to write vertical line, but there here we used to write and or not. Simple English language. So which is why it is easy to understand. That is the easiest language. So okay, by this function, by the type function, we can find the type of any variable. Like a is an integer, we know, but how to check? By this way, we can check the type. Like this is a string. By right type before the b, we can find its type. Okay. Now integer. Now this is very important. Like conversion. If this is, we know this is an integer, but we have to convert it in a string. So what will we do? We will write str in front of this, so it will convert it into a string. To convert this string into an integer, what will we do? Integer, like float. Okay, so on. And now input function. By this we can take input from the user, like variable a, and we are taking input, and this is the syntax. And also we always get input in a string. If we want integer input, then we have to typecast it like this. Int, we have to write int in front of this. So move to the questions. These are the questions I have solved for you on the VS Code. Okay, so start from the first question. Write a Python program to add two numbers. Assign one variable with then b, and the c variable, which is the sum of a and b, and then print c. You will get your desired output. And move to the second question. Write a Python program to find remainder when a number is divided by z. So first of all, we will take the input of z, and to convert it into an integer, we will write int in front of this, and same with num, and we will find remainder of them. That is called modulus operator. By the help of this, we can find the remainder and store in the c variable, then print c. Check the type of the question 3 is check the type of variable assigned using input function. We will take the input. We know the input is will be string, but we have to check the its type. So what will we do? We will write print statement and along with type in front of a, then we can find the type of that string, that variable, not string. The output will be string. Use comparison operator. Find out whether a given variable is greater than b or not. So take a is 34 and b is 80. If we are using conditional statement, if a is greater than b, then this is the syntax of if. In this we have to use this colon, then print true. If a is greater than b, then print true. If not, then print false. Else means false. Okay. Right. Question 5. Write a Python program to find an average of two numbers entered by the user. Average, for the average, we will take input of a, then b, then print average a plus b by 2. This is by this way we can find out the average. Now, question 6. Write a Python program to calculate the square of a number entered by the user. We will take input by the user, convert it into and typecast that. After print a square a. Okay. Strings. What are the strings? Strings are nothing which by which we are already aware. Anything which is under double quotes, single quotes, triple quote, that is called a string. This, and this. Okay, and the indexing is always start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the negative index start from left, I mean from right. This start from left to right, and this start from right to left. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. And this is first index which is included, this is not included. And third one is which is not written here, which is jumping index. Let me tell you by an example how. Word. This is a string, amazing. And we are starting from the first index. Then last index is 6. But we have last index is not included, so it will go with up to the 5, 1 to 5, and with a jumping index of 2, with a difference of 2. So m with difference of 2z and n, mzn, output will be mzn. The same way, minus 7 to minus 1, so it will treat it in from right to left, minus 1 to minus 7, the output will be amazing. From starting to the 7, amazing. From 0 to the end, amazing. Okay, these are the some important functions which makes our code easier to operate. So by the using this function, we can find the length of any string. How? This is our string. By using len in front of string, and then when we print them, we can find out the length of the string. With this function ends with, which checks the ends in the given text. How? Like I am searching for RRY. So if this contains in that string, so this will print if this is true or not. The output will be true. Count. This will count number of occurrence. Like I am searching for R. So how many times it occurs? 2. The output will be 2. Capitalize. It will capitalize capital the string. Like Harry is in small letters, so it will capital. This is wrong. The output will be capital. Find return the index of first occurrence. The first we have to return the index of the first occurrence. Error is occur at the second index, output will be 2. And this is something important. Replace the old word with a new word. Like I am replacing R by L. So when it replaces, it will become Heli. And now move to the escape sequence characters. Sequence of characters after backslash are called escape sequence characters. Okay, backslash. That is for new line. This is for tab. This is for single quote, and this is for backslash. Backslash. Okay, so practice it. To the practice it, guys. Okay, the question one is write a Python program to display a user enter name followed by good afternoon using input function. Very simple. We will take input in name as a string. I think this will we don't need to write this str because it is already a string. Then when we get output, we will print along with good morning. Then we will get desired output. In the question 2, write a program to fill in the letter template given below with name and date. What will we do? We have given this. Uh, we have to replace the name and the date by taking input from the user. So what will we do? We will take input for the name, for the date, and now we are going to do something amazing. Like I assigned a variable by using replace. I told you this just before how to use this. This this is going to be replaced by this. Okay, this is going to be replaced by this. This is this is what we get out input for the name for the day, and when it replaced, we will print them, and this we will get our desired output. Write a program to detect double space in a string. How? Like if I have a string and I made double spaces. By the if statements, we can check if double space in by using in name colon, then print double space detected. If not, else so not detected. Very easy. And in the next question 4, which is replace the double space from the problem 3. So it is from problem 3. If we detect any double spaces, then what will we do? We'll replace it with single spaces. How? The same with if statement, till with same till if statement, then we will write new name, any variable. The name replace double quotes with the single quotes. I mean double space with the single space. Then print new name. If not detected, then print not detected. In the last, write a program to format the following letter using escape sequence character. So, like forward slash, backward slash t, backward slash, and by this way we can print the letter by using escape sequence characters. Okay. Now, list and the tuples. Python lists are like strings. Okay, this in this we can store any type of data, either string, int, boolean, and the indexing is also like strings, and we can perform different operations in that, and also this is list are mutable. How? We can sort them by using sort function. By using reverse function, we can reverse them. By using append, we can append any of the value in the end of the list. Insert at the third index, we are going to insert value 8. Okay. List 1 pop. At the second index, we will pop the value, so the element will be deleted. And by the remove function, we will remove the value 21 from the list. Tuples are something which are immutable, which means we can't change them. Like what? Like list. Tuples in Python. This is an empty tuple with one element with more than one element. So we can perform different operations like count one. It will count the times of it occurs, the times of one occurs. So output will be one, and the index of one, which is zero. Okay, so the practice set. So start from the first question. Write a program to store 7 fruits in a list entered by the user. How? We will create an empty list. Then we will use for loop in range. This is something which we use in loops. We will cover in the next video. Okay, range till how many times we have to repeat them. For I in range, this is the syntax you can consider. Okay, so the range is is a okay function. Now n, I use a variable n, then I take input which is stored in n. Understood what I do? I made an empty list, then put a loop of I. Okay, then take input and stored in n. Then what will I do? I will append n in the list one. So it will convert it into new list with the input fruits. And when we print the list, we will get the output. Okay. And also I will tell you there are so many ways to do this type of questions. Like in the second question, write a program to accept marks of 6 students and display them in a sorted manner. How? Like this. We take we initialize the list in this way, and for I in range the same way. But now what we did here, uh, st in I, in the index of I, we are taking input one by one. If you are using this type of, then you have to initialize by 0. If you don't want, then use this method. Okay, when you take input in I, then sort them, because we have to print them in the sorted manner, and then print st. Check that a tuple type cannot be changed. We have to check a tuple type is changed or not, can be changed or not. So we will pop 2 means it will be going to uh, remove the value from the second index, but the output will be not we are thinking, because tuple is non-mutable, we can't put that type of operations. Write a program to sum a list. So in that we are going to sum, first of all, initialize an empty list, then a sum variable which is initialized with 0, then put a for loop with a range 4, then take input in integer typecasting and store in it in n, then append n into list 1. Sum plus is equals to n. We are taking sum of every digit in the list and print list 1. Okay. Write a program to count the number of zeros, how many times it occurs. So we already know the count function like this. A is a tuple, and we are counting how many times zero occurs and store it in n and print n. And another way to do this is we are looping for I in A. We are looping in A, and if I is equals to 0, then count plus plus. We initialize count with 0, then count plus plus, and print count. We will get the count. Okay, guys. So that's enough for today. We will cover dictionary and sets in the next session. Thanks for watching.